Every parent wants their kid to really shine, to hit their full potential. But what happens when something as fundamental as numbers becomes a source of fear? Well, we're going to dive into a program that makes a pretty huge claim that it can get rid of that fear completely. And that's it, right there. That's the big promise from the UCMAS program, to basically flip the switch on a child's relationship with math, taking it from fear to total confidence. So the big question is, how on earth do they pull that off? Okay, so first things first, what is UCMS? Let's just break it down, get to the core of what this program is really all about. Now, the phrase that really jumps out at me here is Brain Development Program. That tells you everything. This isn't just about getting better at math. The abacus, it's the tool, sure, but the real target here is training the entire mind. And you'll notice they're super specific about who this is for. We're talking about kids between 5 and 12 years old. They're really targeting that critical window, when their brains are just like little sponges, soaking up completely new ways of thinking. And just so you know, this isn't some brand new fad that just popped up. The program's been around for a while. For instance, it's been operating in regions like Uttar Pradesh since way back in 2003. So yeah, it's got a pretty long track record. Okay, so this is where we get into the nuts and bolts. How does it actually work? How does a physical tool, an abacus, lead to this incredible mental math ability? It's a pretty fascinating process, actually. So it's really a three-step journey. First, kids have to totally master the physical abacus. They learn how to do all the calculations on the real thing. But then, and this is the key part, they're trained to visualize it, to picture that abacus and its beads in their head. And once they can do that, well, that's when the magic happens. The goal is to get to a point where they can do these complex calculations with incredible speed and accuracy, all in their mind. No physical abacus needed. It's kind of like the training wheels finally come off. But, and this is where it gets really interesting, the program basically claims that doing math super fast is just a cool side effect. It's not the main goal. The real goal is something much, much bigger, a whole range of cognitive benefits. So if it's not just about crunching numbers and getting the right answer quickly, then what else is going on? What other skills are being built in the background? Well, they claim it develops a whole bunch of skills that you can use way beyond the math classroom. Just look at this list of claimed benefits. We're not just talking about math anymore, are we? We're talking about fundamental life skills. Visualizing that abacus, that boosts memory. The intense focus it takes, that builds concentration. It's like a full workout for your brain, developing your logic, your problem solving, your decision making, not just the little math part of your brain. The idea is that you're building a stronger foundation for, well, learning pretty much anything. Okay, so it's one thing to develop all these skills, right? But it's another thing entirely to be able to use them when the pressure is on. And the program has a structure built right in for this, giving students a really clear path to test their abilities. What they do is they have these annual exams that build on each other. You've got state level, then national, and even international competitions. And this isn't just about checking your progress. The whole point is to get these kids ready for future challenges, teaching them how to perform and stay calm and focused when it counts. All right, so let's boil all of this down to the main takeaway. What is the fundamental difference between this UCMS approach and, the way most of us probably learned math in school? And this comparison really says it all, doesn't it? Standard math practice, a lot of the time, is focused on the what, using a pen and paper to get the right answer. The UCMAS approach, on the other hand, is all about the how. It uses the abacus and visualization to develop the whole brain. So the outcome isn't just a correct answer. It's a brain that's been trained for speed, accuracy, and, most importantly, powerful cognitive skills. And all of this really leaves us with a pretty big question to think about. Is the main goal of education just to learn subjects, or is it to build the mental tools that you need to master anything? It really makes you wonder, right? How early should we start training our kids' brains not just for school, but for life?